Let's do this.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven Sun. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Phatts TV on this Tuesday night, November the 15th. I had to think about what the date was for a minute there. Hope I got that right, the 15th. I am your host with the most, the master of disaster. I love black people, PA Phatts. Joining me in Phatts Studio B, deep in the heart of snowy Center County, Pennsylvania. He calls me up today driving home from work. I'm scared. Stay on the phone with me till I get home. I'm scared.
Yep, because that's what I said.
I'm scared.
Because I was real scared.
The one, the only, non-genetically proven son. Round of applause. 2 claps and a woo. There you go. There you go. Good job on the woo.
Woo!
Woo. That's better. That's better. So welcome, one and all, the millions in attendance. And the studio audience, of course. So, wanted to talk about 2 things tonight, and then something else happened today. Wanted to give some post-election analysis of the disaster that happened.
Post? You mean current?
Election, like, month, yeah. And I wanted to, former President Trump's giving a speech at 9 o'clock, and we're going to simulcast it to see, is he going to announce he's running for president? Why he might be doing it? I have my own theories, of course. But then something happened today. Something went boom. In case if you weren't following the news, there was a missile attack in Poland today. 5 miles across the border from Ukraine. Now, of course, the official word was it was the Russians. It was the Russians. Oh, it has to be the Russians. Any chance it could have been a Ukrainian missile gone bad? Is it possible?
What a U.S. missile.
Yeah, who knows? Is it possible it could be a Ukrainian missile gone wrong? Something maybe in their missile defense systems given to them by a couple different countries? According to the the Polish president, there's no proof of whoever fired the missile yet. No proof.
Kiana made it. Kiana says she made it.
She made it. That's impressive.
She said, hi, I made it.
That's, oh. No.
She made it to the show.
Little better context there. Here, I thought you made the missile. I was going to be impressed.
Like a little paper missile or something.
I would have been impressed that she knew enough about that kind of stuff. That'd have been impressive.
So would I.
So, of course, tomorrow, NATO is going to have a big meeting now. Because it's automatically the Russians. Automatically. Is this the false flag that they've been waiting for to put offensive troops into Ukraine. They're already there, of course.
That's a lot. They're definitely there.
No, nobody knows that though.
Except people who have a brain.
We're keeping that one a secret.
Ugh. You didn't center me too well here.
Well, you center yourself, son.
Not as comfortable.
Well, here. Hold on. Hold on. I'll center you a little better. Just for you. Hey, don't move.
I'm getting myself comfortable.
There, you're centered.
There you go.
You're centered. So on the boob tube next to me, I'm watching to see when Trump starts. He's supposed to come on at 9 o'clock, so we got a little while to talk about some things. So apparently, unfortunately, 2 people were killed over in Poland. So the Daily Mail, which is over in England, the United Kingdom, NATO ambassadors will meet tomorrow to plot response against Moscow as members vow to defend every inch of territory after Warsaw confirmed Russian missile did cause blast in Polish village that killed 2 and ratcheted up tensions across Europe. That was updated at 6:30. Basically the same time Poland's president was doing a news conference where he said, we can't confirm or deny who shot the missile. The word is Poland going to enact, is it Article 4 of the NATO?
Froze.
And the stream froze. Must have bad connection tonight due to the weather.
Eventually. By the way, going off of what you just said, or at least what I heard you said.
So I want you to see, look up stock futures.
Going off of what you said, NATO going to war with Russia would just end in one thing.
Me being in charge of the world.
Death.
Death.
Stock futures.
Taking you a long time to find stock futures.
You know what? The Dow's down 126. S&P 500 down 17.5. NASDAQ down 58.25.
Not as much as I thought.
About 0.5% for each of them.
Not as much as I thought it would be. You would think if it was a Russian missile attack, it'd be down a lot because the stock market doesn't like volatility and they'd be fearing World War III right about now.
It wouldn't really be World War III. It's just... Would it be...
Well, you don't think if...
The Russians? Just China?
North Korea...
North Korea could be blown off this earth in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, but North Korea has potential nuclear weapons. Pakistan, maybe India. You know, one of the two. They don't like each other, so one of the two. Iran.
India is a British colony.
So then it would be Pakistan. Iran.
Where'd you run to? Because you don't run.
I ran so far away. Like
You might want to.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going to go?
Ooh, let me guess. The one place on this planet that would survive a nuclear attack? Birdsboro.
Birdsboro would not survive a nuclear attack, sorry.
Well, yeah, it's kind of close to Limerick, if Limerick were to get bombed.
No, I'm going to northern Scotland. At least I'll be peaceful there.
You and the sheep. Bah.
There's cows up there.
It's a little cold up there. Year
chilly.
round.
It's chilly, yeah. It's not... You can still swim up there if you have a swimsuit. Like a full body one.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous up there, though. So at least if I'm going to die of radiation poisoning or just a big bomb, at least I'll be peaceful there.
At least a big bomb, huh?
Yeah, at least I'll be at peace. Or just go to Austria or whatever. Go live in the mountains. I'm thinking of the wrong...
Austria does have mountains.
Am I thinking of the right country?
Austria is in Europe. Australia is its own continent.
Austria is like the one that's always neutral, right?
That's Switzerland.
I'm thinking of Switzerland. You can go there and you'll probably survive a nuclear war.
Maybe. Who knows?
Galapagos? You'll survive there.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. All right. As you know, if you were watching the show last week, we had an election.
We did. It's still going on.
You would think. Shouldn't take a week to count the votes.
Hensing up until 2020, you knew the winner that night. Except that 1 year where Florida had a recount.
Right.
So you knew like the next day or whatever.
Oh, no, it took a long time.
Okay, but...
It took a long time because there were multiple cases. Gore fucked that whole thing up. Gore only asked for a recount in 5 counties. If he asked for a statewide recount, so it ended up in the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court, with a 5-4 majority for the conservatives, ruled that he didn't have standing to ask for a recount in just 5 counties, and basically shut down the recount. And then he conceded that night because he didn't have a path to victory. That just shows how Florida has come. Bush won Florida by 527 votes or something like that. DeSantis won Florida by how many? 19 points?
Yeah. By over 1 million.
DeSantis won Florida by very slow tonight, the internet. DeSantis won Florida by 1.5 million votes. That state is redder than the girl's ass I was spanking last night. You didn't need to know that, but of all the counties, the Democratic challenger, Charlie Crist, who used to be a Republican, by the way, won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And one of them was not Miami-Dade.
One of them was not Miami-Dade. DeSantis won Miami-Dade by 11 points.
Florida's going to be red for a long time.
Florida going to be red for a long time. Yes.
Now we just got to get PA that way.
Well, you know what? If you were listening to our show 2 weeks ago, when I talked about what has to happen for Oz to win the Senate race in Pennsylvania, I said in 2020, the 5 counties that make up the southeastern portion of the state voted for Grandpa Joe by 700,000 votes over Bush. I said if Oz could keep that to 500,000, he has a chance to win because he would offset what he's going to lose in the T because some conservatives are not going to vote for him. Do you recall me saying that? Now, do you wear the same clothes all the time?
I have this hoodie on a lot.
I hope you wash it a lot.
Yeah, I watch it every week.
Okay. Or I hope you have 3 of them or something.
I don't have 3 of them. I wish I had 3 of them.
So, let's look at the southeastern counties. So, let's share the screen. Never mind the progressive ad at the bottom. So, the 5 southeastern counties. So, let's start with Bucks County.
Yeah.
Okay? Get out your calculator.
Getting out my calculator.
Oz lost by 21,800 votes.
Okay.
Okay? Let's move to Montgomery County. Oz lost by 114,700 votes.
Okay.
Let's move to Chester County. Oz lost by 42,500 votes.
You do laundry every week since when?
You got that number?
Yep.
Let's move to Delaware County. Oz lost by 68,500 votes.
Okay.
And in Philadelphia County, where this will be the biggest one, Oz lost by 324,000 votes. Now, all that's rounding to the nearest 100.
Yep.
Pretty good being an accountant. I could do that in my head quite quickly. So, Oz lost by the 5 southeastern counties by
571,000.
571. So, a little bit more than what I said. I said he needed to hold it within 500,000. He ended up losing the entire state by 239,000. Because he lost votes in the T. Can you pull up quick the 2020 presidential by county in Pennsylvania? And let's just look at some counties and see what the vote total was for Trump compared to the vote total for Oz. Now, you can't really compare person to person because you're always going to get more in the presidential years.
Okay.
So, we'll do it by total votes and we'll do it by percentages.
Yep.
So, let's start with, York County, which is a pretty Republican.
Yep.
Do you know where that is?
I do.
Okay. So, in York County, Oz got 59% of the vote. What did Trump get in 2020?
61.5.
2.5% less. Is that your fire alarms?
I guess so. It's the second or third time they've gone off tonight.
Probably some accidents up there.
I'm surprised you could hear that.
Hey, I could go to Twitter and see what's going on in Center County Fire.
I've lived here now 2 months, and today is the first time I've ever heard them go off.
Well, let's also admit you're not home all day long, too.
True. But, the odds of me not hearing them for, 2 months, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to Adams County, which is the county directly to the west of York County.
Yep.
So Oz got 62.6%. Trump
66.4.
almost 4%. Let's go to Berks County. Oz got 50.6%.
Trump got 53.5.
Are we starting to see a pattern here? Let's go to let's go to Lancaster County, because Lancaster County I think was about the same the last I looked. Lancaster County, Oz got 55.6.
57.2.
So even that went up 1.6. Let's look at Lebanon County. 62.2.
65.2.
3%. Let's look at the Skook, where Daniel's old girlfriend lives.
Yeah.
63.7.
69.2.
Let's go to Luzerne County. 53.1. This will be a big difference.
56.7.
No, not as much as I thought. So you see, in general, he's losing. He's lacking Trump's support by 3 to 4%, county to county to county. Let's go look out towards more the western part of the state. Let's look, just for example, Clinton County, which is the county to the north of Center County.
Yep.
62.7.
67.5.
4.5%. Let's look at Clearfield, which is the county to the west of Center County. 70 even.
74.1.
4%. Let's go up to the top tier. Let's go up to Potter County, where there's not a lot of votes. Did you find Potter County? It's right along the New York border.
I got it.
77.2.
79.9.
Again, another 2.7%. Let's go to Warren County, which is just to the east of Erie County.
Got you.
63.2.
68.9.
Let's look at this one. Let's look at Erie County. Erie County, which Trump lost it in 2020. He won it in 16, if I remember correctly.
He did lose it in 2020.
So in 2022, Oz lost it with only 43.9%.
Trump lost it with 48.8. He lost it by 1%. Oz lost it by 10.
Yeah. Let's go down to all the way to the southwestern corner. Greene County.
Yep.
Oz, 63.6.
71.2.
So, shift out west, it's even by a larger margin. Even I didn't think that Oz would trail Trump percentages by that much. Let's look at Westmoreland, which is the county to the east of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
58.5.
63.6.
Yeah. So let's shift back to the northeast, to the county in the northeastern corner, which is Wayne County. 63.5.
66.3.
We haven't found one yet where Oz had a better percentage than Trump did. Lancaster was the closest one. That was the only one that was less than 2%.
I don't think you're going to find a county, to be honest.
I don't think so either. Let's look at a couple Biden counties. Let's look at Lackawanna County while we're up in the northeast.
Yep.
Oz got 41.1.
45.3.
Let's look at Center County. Do you know where Center County is?
I think.
Okay. Oz got 45.2.
46.9.
So that's close, 1.7.
I feel like Center is a tough one just with the college there because that's the only reason Center County is blue.
Sure. And let's look at Allegheny, where Pittsburgh is.
Yep.
35.2.
39.2.
4%. And just for shits and giggles, let's do Philadelphia County.
Yep.
To see even in the largest democratically majority county, where I thought, this is where I thought Oz would run better than Trump.
Right.
Oz got 15.9%.
17.9.
So even Trump ran better there.
He did.
By 2%. Let's look at one more then. The other big county down there for the swing was Montgomery County, so just to the northwest.
Yep.
Montgomery County, Oz was 34.8.
36.4.
So every county, Oz, from a percentage standpoint, did worse. That's why he lost this race. I said many times, during the primaries. Now, we weren't back on the air yet. We're season 3 of Phatts TV. But for those of you that watch this show that know me, that read my Facebook posts, I said Oz had no chance to win this race back then because Pennsylvania, when they choose a Republican, only chooses conservatives. They don't choose moderates in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the last time a moderate won Pennsylvania. Probably the last time.
Paul Casey?
He's a Democrat.
He's a moderate.
But he's a Democrat. I'm
okay,
talking about
but he's a moderate.
But I'm talking about a Republican.
Oh, okay.
I mean, before Trump, the last president that ran it, when it was Bush, and everybody thought Bush was a conservative, and he pretty much ran as a conservative. He's become more moderate after he's left office. Reagan was a conservative. Before that, Nixon won it, but Nixon won basically every state because he was running against nobody because Kennedy got shot. You know, Eisenhower was a conservative. You know, Hines, Arlen Specter, even though he became a moderate, when he ran as a conservative. Pat Toomey ran as a conservative. Republican moderates don't win in Pennsylvania. Repeat after me. Republican moderates don't win in Pennsylvania. It's a proven fact. Because the T, and in this case, the rest of the damn state, the conservatives don't come out and vote for moderates. It's proven right there in the numbers. Glad you guys couldn't see my face. Moderate conservative, moderate Republicans do not win in Pennsylvania. Now, Lord knows I am no fan of mail voting. I think you should do your civic duty and go to the goddamn polls on election day and vote. Obviously, if you're in the military, completely different story. Excused absentee voting is one thing. You know, if you know you're going to be out of the country on a business trip, you have the right to absentee vote. But no excuse absentee voting, that's fucking lazy. 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 Election day, at least every other year, should be a national holiday. And everybody should vote on election day, and all the fucking votes should be counted that night. Like they used to be.
Florida could count 7 million by 10 p.m. I mean...
Yeah. Why can't everybody else?
Why can't Arizona count what, like 2?
I mean, it's a fucking shit show.
The weirdest thing about Arizona to me is every Republican won, and then there was like 250,000 less votes for governor for the Republican. Like, you're gonna tell me 250,000 people voted down the line Republican and then chose a Democrat governor? Yeah, no. They did it because the governor Democrat run person, yeah, that was English, was running the election. You're gonna tell me they're not gonna, do something fishy? Duh. It's almost like we need people that live in another freaking country that we're friends with to run our election.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no crap going on.
So, let's just assume, though, for a moment, for the sake of argument, the elections are on the up and up. For the sake of argument.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Here's where the Republican Party needs to get better. Because this is where the Democratic Party is so much better than the Republican Party. They have to grasp mail-in voting. I will guarantee you, there are Democratic quote-unquote operatives that are going to every fucking big school, college in the United States with ballots saying, fill these out. Young people voted in record numbers, they said. Oh, the abortion issue. That's not why young people voted in record numbers. That's not why. Fucking screw your head on straight. Young people voted in record numbers because it's now easy for them. They don't have to go to a poll. They can stay in fucking bed and fill out a fucking form. Or in some states, do it on the internet. Gen Z is the laziest motherfuckers there is. You think for 1 minute? For 1 fucking minute? If they had to get up, get dressed, and get their ass to a poll, there would have been record numbers? Seriously?
You don't have to get dressed to go to the poll. Just go in your sweats.
That's what I mean by dressed. That's what I mean by get dressed. They gotta put clothes on.
I put sweatpants and a sweatshirt on. I walked 2 blocks to the polls. It took me 2 minutes. And I walked back.
So that's getting dressed. You can't go naked.
But by the time I left my apartment and got back, it was less than 15 minutes. Because there was nobody in there.
I mean, seriously. Seriously, if you took 100 college-age students, now obviously, not you, you're out of college now, and you were raised better, but if you were to take 100 college-age students from a college that's not a hardcore religious college, how many of those hundreds do you think will actually go to a fucking poll and vote? Even if the polling is on campus.
Less than 10%.
Right? Penn State has polling on campus for the kids.
I polled there once.
At the hub, right?
At the hub. They had a massive thing set up for people to stand in line, and I voted at like 10 a.m. No line.
No. Because kids aren't going to stand in line.
True.
The young generation is fucking lazy. They always are.
When I ask people my age what they think, they usually just don't care.
Right.
They just don't care enough because it doesn't affect them that much.
Right. I mean, abortion, it doesn't matter to those young people. Yes, do they want free access to abortion? Yes, I'm sure they do.
I'm sure some more women got out my age, but not a record number.
Do they like the fact that Grandpa Joe said, yeah, we're going to give you $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, which 2 days or so after the election, a federal judge ruled, nope, that's unconstitutional. Let me give you a clue, because it is unconstitutional.
Yeah, I wanted it.
Well, I know you wanted it, but it's unconstitutional.
I would have cut my bills right in half.
If anybody should get it from you and me, it should be me. My college bills for you are more than yours.
Probably are.
They are.
Probably are.
Good thing I didn't have any more kids than I know of. But seriously, do you... Oh, yeah. I want free access to abortion. I'm going to go to a poll. You don't hear that. But you stick a ballot in front of their face. Oh, sure, I'll take 30 seconds and fill that out. They'll do that.
I mean, in my 4 years at Penn State, a couple of Berks, a couple up here, I never once saw a political ad for a Republican on campus or in my apartment.
Well, of course not.
Every year that you got a thing on your door, whether it was a piece of paper they taped there or put it on your door handle for Democrats. And I took a picture of it one year, posted it on Facebook, and said, I don't see any. It was during the 2020 election. So I don't see I didn't get any Trump ads. Why am I getting a Biden ad?
Yeah. So, if we're going to allow mail-in voting, the Republican Party better start doing something where Republicans are, whether they put a body in every fucking church. Fill these out. Any place where you could find more Republicans. Because you're not going to get them in the schools because, God forbid, somebody teaches conservative values in a school that's not religious. God forbid. Can you imagine up at Penn State if they had a course on conservative studies?
There's a club.
Ooh.
Not many people are in it, though.
Ooh. I'm surprised when you marched through the hub that you weren't kicked out of school.
Oh, without the masks?
Yes.
I'm surprised we didn't get like a talking to or suspended or something. I was fully expecting to get like a talking to. You can't do that kind of thing.
In school detention.
Detention in college. I wasn't going to get kicked out of school. You're allowed. You have the right to protest.
You do have the right to protest, but back then, a little different.
And you had the right to protest. Oh, we didn't wear a mask in the hub for 10 minutes. Big freaking deal. Not like anybody didn't do that already.
What happens like when conservative talk people try to go to campuses? They get run off. So Republicans, you better learn how to figure out how to embrace mail-in voting, because if it's going to fucking continue, you are going to lose every big election. Shockingly, somehow they're going to win the House of Representatives when they were projecting they were going to win 40-some seats. I said they would get to 239.
They're going to struggle to get to 220.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple Decision Desk tonight has them at 218 right now. CNN still has them at 216. You need 218 to have control. At 218, you have control. You're going to tell me there's not smart minds in the Democratic Party figuring it out? And now some states allow curing? Who here knows what curing is? I don't see your hand raised.
I don't know what curing is.
That's when you mail in your ballot. I get your ballot. Oh, it's not signed. Hello, Mr. Jones. Please come in and sign your ballot so we can count it. That's curing. It's making an illegal ballot legal. Do you think they're calling all of them?
No.
Or is it, hey, Mr. Johnson voted for Oz, Mr. Jones voted for Fetterman. Hi, Mr. Jones, please come in and fix your ballot. Or are they calling them both? Maybe they are. Maybe some states do. Maybe some states don't. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows why cameras went out in Nevada for 8 hours again? 2 years ago was a water pipe burst In Georgia, now it's cameras went out for 8 hours. In the middle of the night. Interesting. Interesting. All these votes show up. Interesting. Laxalt was projected to win. Now all of a sudden he lost. Interesting. He was winning before the cameras went out. What dominates Nevada? Hispanics. Hispanics voted for Republicans in record numbers. Still lost, though? Really? Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But you better fucking figure it out, Republicans. You better figure it out. You better embrace it. If they're going to freaking allow no excuse mail-in voting, you better figure out how to embrace it. Tell all the pretty women that they come over and have a night with me. Maybe that will embrace them. What do you guys think? Give me some comments. What do you guys think about mail-in voting? Should it be legal? Should it be illegal? I don't like it. I like the fact that it increases turnout. I don't like stupid people voting. I don't like Democratic operatives going into nursing homes for people that don't know, that can't make a decision anymore because they're old and the brain tends to leave their minds. But all of a sudden they know what they want to do to vote because, God forbid, Republicans are going to take away their Social Security. I've been hearing that since the 1980 election. Seriously. I told the story of my grandfather telling me why he wanted Jimmy Carter to win because Reagan was going to take away my Social Security. 42 years later, still hearing it. Republicans are going to take away your Social Security. Really? 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 Come on, man, as Grandpa Joe would say.
Hey man, if we can find all this money for free, why do I gotta pay somebody Social Security?
Because you gotta pay my fucking Social Security.
I don't want to pay it.
Oh, fuck you. I paid enough for you.
I don't get Social Security for a while.
Well, good. That means I don't have to pay into yours.
Probably not. If you're working without getting Social Security, that'd be pretty impressive.
There's something majorly wrong with that picture. What say you, America? Don't just sit there with your hand. Gen Z can't even type into a computer. Use voice.
Stop sitting there with your hands in your pants.
Hey. Hey. We may or may not condone such actions here. So we still got about 15 minutes or so till the big announcement. Is he running? Is he not running? If he announces that he's running, let's just assume, because everybody thinks that's what it is. That's why he's running. I think he's doing it now because he doesn't think he's going to be indicted if he doesn't. Because he's going to get indicted. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to get indicted.
Please explain what that means for everybody who doesn't know.
Well, they think he did a lot of illegal stuff with his real estate dealings.
Okay.
So they're going to try to, tie him up. He wouldn't get jail time. But why are they doing this? It's not because, they think he's a bad president. On the surface, Trump did a lot of really good things. No, that's not why the establishment is going after him. The establishment is going after him. One word, 4 letters, begins with an F. Not that word. Nah, you dirty people out there. Not that word. Fear is the word. If you people haven't figured that one out yet, I need a more educated audience watching this show. I know the people that watch this show are educated.
Educated?
The host may not be educated, but the people that watch this show are educated. Fear. Fear. Because Trump is one of the people that could destroy the establishment. The people could rise up and destroy the establishment whenever we want to do it. So what does the establishment do? They keep the people fighting with each other. If I'm always fighting that guy over there, I'm not paying attention to what they're doing over there. The guy that I'm fighting with on Twitter, the guy that I'm fighting with on Facebook, he's over here typing into his computer. The elites are over there. My focus is on that guy. I'm not watching those over there.
True.
That's what the establishment wants. We need somebody that's going to destroy the people over there. They need to be destroyed. They need to go to jail. They need, more than anything, fucking term limits. They need not to be able to trade stocks. They need not, once their time is done, they need not to be able to become lobbyists. They need to not get paid to do their job. You want to get rid of the elites in Washington? Pay a minimum wage. You won't have one elite in Washington. None. Not one. Not one. It's all about the fucking money. And then you got outside influences that want to destroy this country. George Soros. Donald Trump should have branded him a fucking terrorist and went and arrested his ass. And hung him from the highest fucking flagpole that you could find. That commie fucking pig.
Get angry.
I'm seeing some type of breaking news that Trump filed some kind of statement. Trying to find out quick if I could see what that is. Filed official paperwork with the Federal Election Commission declaring himself a candidate for president in 2024. Yes. So he has officially declared his candidacy. I'm going to guess that Mike Pence will not be his vice presidential nominee if he wins the nomination. It's going to be very interesting to see if he wins the nomination. What I know what your thoughts are, but you put your thoughts out there for the world to hear.
Personally, would I like him to be president if he's going to win? I don't think he'll win, to be honest. I think it's almost better that he shuts up, in a way, and let DeSantis run. Because it's not his policy, it's not any, it's him. It's just the name. If you put, the last name freaking, it doesn't even who the last name is, same policy, wins by landslide. If everything is done fair. So DeSantis is an elite. So you would think it'd be more fair, and doesn't Trump like DeSantis anyways?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think in terms of keeping the country or getting the country back, Trump being the president isn't the answer. Unless he is 100% going to win, I just don't think he will win.
Right now, I'm going to throw this at you. Right now, I don't think DeSantis would win either.
Okay. I'm just going off the next probable person to be the candidate.
Yeah.
Which he would probably, if it's not Trump, it's probably going to be DeSantis.
Again, Joe Biden somehow got 81 million votes, whether you believe it or not. 6 million more than anybody else ever got. The next person, the next largest vote total ever was Trump in 2020. Trump broke the record, and then Biden beat him by 6 million. 6 million! Why? Here, fill this out. Here, fill this out. Here, fill this out. You have a lady filling up peaches in a grocery store. Oh, you haven't voted yet? Fill this out. I don't care who the fuck the Republican nominee is. Until they learn to fight fire with these stupid fucking mail-in ballots. They're going to lose. Sorry to break it to you. Sorry. The Democrats could fucking run Jeffrey Dahmer and he would beat any Republican right now.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Really? Fucking a guy who starts his debate with saying, "Good night, everybody." A guy with saying, "The Eagles aren't as good as the Eagles." A guy that's got the goiter the size of my nutsack on his neck. The guy that looks like Uncle Fester is now the senator-elect from the state of Pennsylvania. And by the way, some idiot clown, sorry, I don't like to call women clowns, said, boy, you know, he might be looking to run for president in a couple of years. Huh?
Oh my God, that would be so bad.
Huh? What? But you know what? Let's just assume that he did. And let's just assume it's DeSantis. Fetterman would beat him. Under the current condition we're in?
At that point, and this is even a joke, I think I'd probably leave the country somewhere else. I'm going to Scotland at that point.
Telling you Fetterman would beat him right now.
I'm going to Scotland.
Fill this out, fill this out, fill this out, fill this out.
You'll see me in the United Kingdom. I'd rather pay the taxes than deal with that.
I mean, you won't see one Democratic ad being run in the state of Florida.
No. He'll win Florida by 30 points.
I mean, now, like, right, so you're going to see, if this is really what's going to happen tonight, that Trump is going to, you're going to see a bunch of state polls come out saying which states would he win. He'll win Georgia. He'll win Arizona. He'll win New Hampshire. He'll win Pennsylvania. He might be ahead in Michigan. He might be ahead in Wisconsin. He won't win any of them. Republicans, for the House of Representatives, Republicans had a 4.5-point voting edge over the Democrats. 4.5% over the Democrats. The last time the Republicans had a 4.5% voting edge over the Democrats, they might have won 70 seats. Right now, they're up 11? Maybe? Here, fill this out. Fill this out. It's the great fucking equalizer. Learn it, Republicans. Fucking Mitch McConnell, you gotta go. Sorry. Kevin McCarthy, yes, I know you want to be Speaker of the House. Do we really want... Now think about this, all my Republican friends. Do we really want a California fucking congressman as the Speaker of the House? Don't we have one now? By the way, did you ever see the size of Nancy Pelosi's district? You got to see this.
I'm looking up.
I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to show it.
It's probably the size.
It's the size of my penis head.
So it's tiny.
Yes. Wait, I'm going to pull up.
And it's only like downtown San Francisco.
I'm seriously going to pull up the map. So now the question is, I gotta find it.
Make sure you click the right one.
Getting closer. Getting closer. Right here. This little thing right here. I shit you not.
And of course, it has the entirety of San Francisco. You're too high. There you go.
Look, it's not this whole thing. It's this little thing right here. This little thing is a congressional district.
There's an island, and whatever's north of that tip, there's some up there.
Well, that could be fucking Alcatraz for all we know.
It might be.
It's not Alcatraz.
San Francisco isn't it closer to the coast than that?
This is the coast.
Where is Alcatraz?
I don't know. This is like San Francisco. Like, this is where the Golden Gate Bridge is.
It's in the bay somewhere.
Like, look at this tiny little thing. Look at this.
How many votes were in that district?
246,000.
How is it only 87% done?
Because that's California. Let's look at this really quick before Trump comes on. Some of the races that are not called yet. The 3rd Congressional District, 56%. The 9th, 36% counted, estimated.
That was a big district, that 3rd.
78,000 votes, 79,000 votes have been counted so far. They haven't updated it since November the 10th. In 5 days, there hasn't been one update on this. Seriously? Where's the other 200,000 votes? Did the people who are counting die?
They might have.
I mean, seriously, did they die?
I mean, California can gladly break off and start floating out to sea. Or at least just LA and San Francisco, and if you want San Jose as well.
The western half of the county. Or the state. The whole western half of the state.
And Las Vegas. That could disappear too.
Except they got to keep the casinos. The people could go. The casinos got
to
to
stay. The people could move to LA. That's fine. Yeah, Vegas can stay where it is, but the people need to go. Hopefully his speech isn't 17 hours long.
I was kind of hoping he would have, like, laid out some dirt on the establishment. That's what I was hoping this was going to be about.
He still could. So how do they have breaking news that he filed that already if he didn't even have a speech yet?
Because it was filed already.
Why would you file it before your speech, dumbass?
What does it matter?
I bet you less people watch the speech now.
No. No, I bet you more people watch the speech now. I wonder if places like CNN will carry it. I want to check.
Let's remember what CNN did in 2016.
Right.
They probably learned.
No, in 2016 they covered every stop of his.
Yeah, and now they learned their mistake to not do that.
Right. In 2020 they didn't do anything.
They didn't show him, and guess what? He ain't in the White House right now.
And of course, great time for my batteries to decide to die. They were on the verge of dying, but they were still at 2, not at none.
2%?
No. 2 bars.
We get some new batteries. See, now that's funny.
There we go.
Did you just take out the batteries and put them back in?
Yeah.
Is that the equivalent of blowing out like an N64 cartridge? From all the dust?
Well, it's breaking news. Trump files candidacy paperwork with FEC.
And now half the country's like, yes, and half the country's like, oh, God. Here we go again. And I'm kind of in the middle of that.
Make America great again. Again. So are you going to be placing your order for the Trump 2024 flag tomorrow?
Bro, I've had this for 2 years. Wait, there we go. I've had this for literally over 2 years. I ordered this the day after the election was called. Or like 2 days or something like that. So, if it comes down to it, and Trump is running versus, maybe not DeSantis or somebody in the primary, are you gonna vote for Trump?
Yes.
Is there any candidate that you would not vote for Trump for?
No.
Not one?
No.
Not even yourself?
No.
You don't think you'd do a better job?
Yes. But I got time to run.
I got time to run.
It's amazing. They have him talking on TV, but I can't find him talking on the internet anywhere.
Oh, I thought you already had it up.
I did, but they weren't saying.
Why don't you go to Dish Anywhere on the computer?
Because that'll take too long to pull up.
Oh.
It's weird. Like everything on the internet says like waiting for him, where he's on. CNN talking. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens, America's comeback starts right now. Two years ago, when I left office, the United States stood ready for its golden age. Our nation was at the pinnacle of power, prosperity, and prestige, towering above all rivals, vanquishing all enemies, and striding into the future, confident and so strong. In 4 short years, everybody was doing great. Men, women, African Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, everybody was thriving like never before. There was never a time like this. We turned the page on decades of globalist sellouts and one-sided trade deals, lifted millions out of poverty, and together we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. When the virus hit our shores, I took decisive action and saved lives and the U.S. economy. And by October of the same year, America was roaring back with the #1 fastest economic recovery ever recorded. How about that? All of the incoming administration and all they had to do was just sit back and watch. Inflation was non-existent. Our southern border was by far the strongest ever. And because the border was so tight, drugs were coming into our country at the lowest level in many, many years. Importantly, after decades of rising energy costs, the United States had finally attained the impossible dream of American energy independence, which soon would have turned into energy dominance. For the first time in memory, China was reeling and back on its heels. You've never seen that before, because the United States was outdoing them on every single front, and China was paying billions and billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs. The farmers know that because they got 28 billion of it. No president had ever sought or received $1 for our country from China until I came along, and we were getting hundreds of billions of dollars. Many people think that because of this, China played a very active role in the 2020 election. Just saying, just saying. Sure, that didn't happen. Instead of jobs and factories leaving America for China, they were for the first time ever leaving China for America. Businesses were pouring back because of our historic tax and regulation cuts, the biggest in both categories in history, bigger even than what Ronald Reagan was able to produce, and he produced a lot. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea were in check and respected. They respected the United States, and quite honestly, they respected me. I knew them well. I knew them well. The vicious ISIS caliphate, which no president was able to conquer, was decimated by me and our great warriors in less than 3 weeks, and al-Baghdadi, its founder, was hunted down and killed. North Korea had not launched a single long-range missile since my summit with Chairman Kim Jong-un nearly 3 years before. We developed a relationship, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Very good thing, actually, because look at what's happening today. My opponents made me out to be a warmonger and just a terrible person who would immediately go into war. They said during the 2016 campaign that if he becomes president, there will never be a war within weeks, and we will have wars like you've never seen before. It will happen immediately, and yet I've gone decades without a war, the first president to do it for that long a period. The world was at peace, America was prospering, and our country was on track for an amazing future because I made big promises to the American people, and unlike other presidents, I kept my promises. I kept them. Thank you very much. Under our leadership, we were a great and glorious nation, something you haven't heard for quite a long period of time. We were a strong nation, and importantly, we were a free nation. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. For millions of Americans, the past 2 years under Joe Biden have been a time of pain, hardship, anxiety, and despair. As we speak, inflation is the highest in over 50 years. Gas prices have reached the highest levels in history and expect them to go much higher now that the strategic national reserves, which I filled up, have been virtually drained in order to keep gasoline prices lower just prior to the election.
Actually, you tried.
Joe Biden has intentionally surrendered our energy independence. There is no longer even a thought of dominance, and we are now begging for energy help from foreign nations, many of whom find us detestable. Our southern border has been erased, and our country is being invaded by millions and millions of unknown people, many of whom are entering for a very bad and sinister reason. And you know what that reason is. We will be paying a big price for this invasion into our country for years to come. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of deadly drugs, including very lethal fentanyl, are flooding across the now open and totally porous southern border. The blood-soaked streets of our once great cities are cesspools of violent crimes, which are being watched all over the world as leadership of other countries explain that this is what America and democracy is really all about. How sad. The United States has been embarrassed, humiliated, and weakened for all to see. The disasters in Afghanistan, perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, where we lost lives, left Americans behind, and surrendered $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. And Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were your president, are something and even the Democrats admit that. That's something I've seen them admit over and over again. But our enemies are speaking of us with scorn and laughter and derision because of those two events. But there are many more. Even just today, a missile was sent in, probably by Russia, to Poland, 50 miles into Poland, and people are going absolutely wild and crazy, and they're not happy. They're very, very angry. Now we have a president who falls asleep at global conferences, was held in contempt by the British Parliament over Afghanistan. Thanks to the words of wisdom, he said thank you to the wrong country for inviting him to a major summit on the environment, of all things. They fly for days to get there, and then he calls the country a name that was actually a country on another continent. And he's leading us to the brink of nuclear war, a concept unimaginable just 2 short years ago. You cannot mention the nuclear word. It's too devastating. The Green New Deal and the environment, which they say may affect us in 300 years, is all that is talked about, and yet nuclear weapons, which would destroy the world immediately, are never even discussed as a major threat. Can you imagine? They say the ocean will rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 200 to 300 years. But don't worry about nuclear weapons that can take out entire countries with one shot. Something is wrong with their thinking. Under Biden and the radical Democrats, America has been mocked, derided, and brought to its knees, perhaps like never before. But we are here tonight to declare that it does not have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. Two years ago, we were a great nation, and soon we will be a great nation again. The decline of America is being forced upon us by Biden and the radical left lunatics running our government right into the ground. This decline is not a fate we must accept. When given the choice, boldly, clearly, and directly, I believe the American people will overwhelmingly reject the left's platform of national ruin, and they will embrace our platform of national greatness and glory to America. Glory. Exactly 1 week ago, our citizens voted in the important midterm elections, and despite a ridiculously long and unnecessary period of waiting, far longer, in fact, than any third world country, just a short time ago, the Republicans won back control of the House of Representatives. And it was with a great Trump-endorsed candidate, Congressman-elect Kevin Kiley, who is a fantastic person, And I'm very happy it was his vote that did it. But we now won back. This happened just an hour ago. Much criticism is being placed on the fact that the Republican Party should have done better, and frankly, much of this blame is correct. But the citizens of our country have not yet realized the full extent and gravity of the pain our nation is going through, and the total effect of the suffering is just starting to take hold. They don't quite feel it yet, but they will very soon. I have no doubt that by 2024, it will sadly be much worse, and they will see much more clearly what happened and what is happening to our country, and the voting will be much different. 2024. Are you getting ready? And I am too. I am too.
I hope that's water.
I do want to point out that in the
I hope it's
midterms,
not.
my endorsement success rate was 232 wins and only 22 losses. You don't hear that from the media. And this is an elegant night and an elegant place, and I'm not going to use the term fake news media. So we're going to keep it very elegant. But you don't hear that from the media. But I think you will, because people are starting to see what happened. That's some score. And in the primaries was 98.6%. But they were still trying to blame me. And the reason for the success and that unprecedented success rate is that the Trump administration changed our nation on trade, on securing the border. We're the strongest, safest border ever in the history of our country. On Islamic terrorism, we had practically, just about, not that I can think of, no Islamic attacks, terrorist attacks during the Trump administration. And in fact, we got along very well with the various countries, including coming up with the Abraham Accords. That's a great thing, the Abraham Accords. But it's because of cutting taxes and cutting regulations at the highest level ever, and on building the greatest economy. Any time in the history of the world, there's never been an economy like we had just 2 years ago. Despite the outcome in the Senate, we cannot lose hope. And we must all work very hard for a gentleman and a great person named Herschel Walker, a fabulous human being who loves our country and will be a great United States Senator. Herschel Walker, get out and vote for Herschel, and he deserves it. He was an incredible athlete. He'll be an even better senator. Get out and vote for Herschel Walker. We elected a group of incredibly talented America First leaders who will be stars of our party for many years to come. In the popular vote, another thing that's not discussed for the House, we must remember that Republicans won 5 million more votes, the largest margin in many, many years, over the Democrats. 5 million more votes. That's a big thing. Breaking the radical Democrats' grip on Congress was crucial. So in other words, because of our great congressmen and all of our great congressmen and congresswomen, we have taken over Congress. Nancy Pelosi has been fired. Isn't that nice? Okay.
It's better that she's just not third in line for the presidency.
I told them, I said, if you just keep a little bit lower standard, you're going to have a big victory. They said, let's win by 40 seats. Let's win by 50. I said, if you win by 2 seats, be happy. But she's on her way to another country right now. She's been fired. But we always have known that this was not the end. It was only the beginning of our fight to rescue the American dream. And it's a word you don't use. 2 words. I don't want to be Joe. It's 2 words. American dream.
Oh, he's done talking on CNN.
That was not good what he did. There are a lot of bad things, like going to Idaho and saying, welcome to the state of Florida. I really love it. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. Thank you, kids. Thank you. All of you. Thank you. Thank you. So many incredible friends and family here tonight. It's such a beautiful thing. Some people say, how do you speak before so many people all the time? When there's love in the room, it's really easy, if you want to know the truth. It really is. You ought to try it sometime. Together, we will be taking on the most corrupt forces and entrenched interests imaginable. Our country is in a horrible state. We're in grave trouble. This is not a task for a politician or a conventional candidate. This is a task for a great movement that embodies the courage, confidence, and the spirit of the American people. This is a movement. This is not for any one individual. This is a job for tens of millions of proud people working together from all across the land and from all walks of life, young and old, black and white, Hispanic and Asian, many of whom we have brought together for the very, very first time. If you look at the numbers, if you look at what's happened with Hispanic, with African American, with Asian, and just look at what's happening. This is a party that has...
All right. So we know what's going on now. He announced...
I got 3 things.
What?
2 good things and 1 very annoying thing. We get 2 more years of rallies. That means 2 more years of YMCA and Billie Jean.
Saturday night's all right for fighting.
Yeah. But I have 2 more freaking years of texts from him.
Well, you could unsubscribe whenever you want.
Ah! But every time you sign up for a rally, even though they don't actually ever check.
But you still can subscribe right after the rally.
2 more years of rallies. Listen to people complain about him. This and that, and this and that, and this.
Yeah. So defend the guy.
Huh?
Now then, go out and defend the guy.
Will he win? Probably not.
No. Right now, no fucking Republican is going to win.
Unless it's a Democrat posing as a Republican.
Even they can't win.
Who's going to be the next president?
Grandpa Joe.
He ain't running again.
We'll see.
I don't even think the dude knows that he's the president.
I tell you what, I will say this. The Republicans have the stronger candidates. Democrats have nobody.
I can't believe Biden is still the president, to be honest. At this time, I figured Kamala was the president.
Well, now you got to remember, he's got to get through 2 years. If he gets through 2 years, then his replacement, whoever that is, could be president for 10. If he doesn't get through 2 years, then they could only be president for half that.
That's true. The Democrats really don't have anybody to run.
No.
Fetterman is literally probably their best candidate. And that's not even a lot.
No, actually, no. You want to know who their best candidate is? Hillary.
Hillary wouldn't win. In a legit election, Trump versus Hillary,
right, but you just said in a legit election.
Yeah. Hillary would get curb stomped in a legit election because Hillary is not a good candidate for that.
Right, but I'm going to tell you, she's their best hope. Or Michelle Obama.
She would probably win.
But there is no quote-unquote politician. You can't get Beto. He's lost like 3 elections. He's lost for the presidency, he's lost for Senate, and he's lost for governor.
Who?
Beto O'Rourke.
I don't know.
The guy who just ran for governor of Texas.
Oh.
He ran for senator 2 years ago. He ran for president. Or he ran for president 4 years ago, and then he dropped out, and then he ran for senator and lost, and now he's lost for governor. I mean, who are they going to get? Pete Buttigieg? What was he, mayor of a town in Indiana? All right. What has he got going for him? He's a homosexual? Okay.
Bernie.
No, they don't want Bernie. If you were going to have a legitimate Democratic primary, Bernie would have beat Hillary.
AOC.
You might want to have sex with her, but
what about Crazy Nancy? She can run.
No, she's gonna quit Congress now, and she's gonna go be diplomat for Italy. She's gonna be our ambassador for Italy.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, that's what she wants.
So why?
I mean, she's not officially saying that.
Let's say she won her seat. So
well, yeah.
If she gives it up,
they'd have to have a special election.
The Republicans just get the seat in San Francisco. Who got 20% of the vote?
I don't know. Maybe Fetterman's the best candidate. Who the hell knows?
That's why I said that. Like, I feel like they just picked the stupidest person they could put up there, so they can control them.
Well, I want to see how long Fetterman's going to be senator for. Is he actually going to serve, or is he going to drop out, and Shapiro gets to name his replacement, and Shapiro might name his wife, meaning Shapiro's wife. That's the thing.
So the governor gets to select the national senator. That makes 0 sense.
Yep.
the Congress should be making some sort of decision.
No. What should happen is the governor should have the pick as a replacement until a special election could be called within a calendar year. And then you have an election. Some states do that. Some states, they fill the seat until the next election comes around when their seat would be up. And I believe that's what Pennsylvania does. But in just about every state, the governor picks the replacement.
Go Herschel Walker. He's going to lose. Unfortunately.
You know what? We'll see. Probably because of early voting. Historically,
Republicans aren't going to get out for it.
Historically, when there's runoff elections, the incumbent usually loses them.
If the Republicans needed that seat to take advantage, in a fair election, he wins.
So here's the interesting thing, and I looked this up. So Warnock is ahead of Walker by 38,000 votes. Okay? You go look at the votes for the 14 House districts in Georgia.
You're going to say they don't match up?
No.
Is it even close?
No.
What's the difference? Like 250,000?
No, I believe it's 80-some thousand when I looked it up.
So Herschel won by 50,000 is kind of what you're saying.
A lot of ticket splitting going on, if that's what really happened.
I feel like ticket splitting is a lot rarer than it's being made out to be. Especially for Congress versus governor, maybe. Like, I think Pennsylvania is a good one. Mastriano got his butt kicked because he really wasn't that good of a candidate for the Republicans.
Plus, he had no support amongst the party elite to give him money.
That too. I mean, that's why he was campaigning in State College a week before the election. State College wasn't going to win you anything. You had to go campaign for Philly, my guy.
Well, that wasn't gonna help.
You have a better chance of winning if you can get a couple people in Philly at State College.
So, all right, let's look. Let's look. So we did it for senator earlier. Let's see how many votes Mastriano lost those 5 counties by. Let's see how much more it was. What did I say? That was 570,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Let's see how many Mastriano lost those 5 counties by. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's about 570, but my guess is he was going to lose it by 700 and some.
It was probably 700, 800.
Bucks County, Shapiro won by 60,800.
Okay.
Montgomery County, Shapiro won by 162,000.
Yep.
Chester County, Shapiro won by 67,000.
Yep.
Delaware County, Shapiro won by 81,700.
Yep.
Philadelphia County, Shapiro won by 351,400. So 351,400.
722,900.
Right. So that's about what Trump lost it by. A little bit more than what Trump lost it by. So you see the difference. There was. Now that is ticket splitting.
It's so hard to believe to me that 200,000 people voted for Oz but not Mastriano.
That's ticket splitting for sure, without a doubt, in my mind.
But I sooner believe Pennsylvania because we both knew Mastriano was going to get his butt kicked down there.
Yes.
Because he just wasn't that good of a candidate for Pennsylvania. He really wasn't.
Well, he's... But
even if he had money and the support of the party, he still doesn't win.
I mean, the Democrats did a really good job of portraying him as a radical.
They did.
You know, they kept playing that same ad over and over and over. I don't give any waivers for any kind of abortion.
Yeah, I'm sure that partially killed him.
That you just kept hearing that over and over and over and over and over. I mean, fucking Shapiro won Berks County. Republicans don't lose Berks County very often. Shapiro won it by almost 4 points.
And Oz won Berks County, what, 1?
1 point, whatever.
Well, I'll take it split.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would just think, at least the presidential election, ticket splitting has to be somewhat.
I think it's rarer for federal office than state office. Like here, we're comparing a state office governor against a federal office senator.
Yeah.
Where I think you have a larger chances of ticket splitting there. But
I would just think if somebody is a Republican, the majority of people don't pay attention to politics. I'd say probably, 85% of people that vote really don't pay attention that heavy into politics to really...
Mm-hmm. Or,
make the choice, the ticket split.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be ticket splitting either.
Or they're just not voting.
Not voting for governor.
That you could do. Which is, I bet you that's more what it is. People go out, I want to vote for Oz, but I don't know or really care about the governor's race, so I'm just not going to.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't really... You would have to total up the total votes in the county.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that quick if you want.
Just do the total votes in Pennsylvania for each.
Okay. So, for governor, was 5,224,000.
Okay.
For Senate, once it wants to work. For Senate, it was interesting. You ready for this?
You're going to tell me there was more governor votes?
Yep. Well, amongst the major party candidates, because that's all CNN shows here.
Right.
The major party candidates, 5,190,000.
So there's a 34,000 vote difference between the two.
So,
and probably the majority of those 34,000 went to Shapiro.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. So, there's definitely ticket splitting going on.
And I'm going to guess a lot of those votes were in the Philly area. Since I'm just taking a guess, since Fetterman's from the western part of the state.
So,
the eastern part don't really.
In Philly, just Philly County alone, 479,000 for Senate.
Uh-huh.
And governor, $480,000.
So 1,000.
So yeah.
So it's probably just all over.
So, but again, Oz was going to be popular in those 5 counties more than any other Republican, except Trump. That's hard to believe to me. That's extremely hard to believe.
There's a lot of Latinos in that area still.
Yeah, but I would not have imagined that Oz would have done worse than Trump in that part of the state. The rest of the state completely figured that. I would not have thought it in the southeastern corner, especially Philadelphia County.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have thought that at all. Wouldn't have thought that at all.
I think that they did a good job of portraying Oz as an idiot.
Carter Strauss says PA Fats 2024.
You want to donate $100 million for the campaign?
That's just to start me off. You need billions now to run, and you got to teach me how to talk.
Well, you know how to talk, just not. You need to learn how to not stutter.
and be able to get my words out.
Yeah.
Put my thoughts into words.
Well, remember, free beer and whatever else it was.
Beer, cheese, and hookers.
You already won the general election. You got 100 million votes. Because you won every guy's vote.
And all the lesbians.
And all the lesbians.
Yes.
So you already got 100 million votes.
All right, so let's wrap this up. But before we go, let's see if we can make a decision.
Make a decision.
And the decision is really up to you.
Okay.
Do we want to do this week's sports show on Friday night when you're sitting in Phatts Studio A? Or do you want to do it Thursday night when you're in Phatts Studio B? So in essence, I'm asking, do you have any sports, your normal job on Thursday?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'd probably prefer to do it in person because we haven't done one in person in a few years.
Then
and it'd be more fun.
Then we'll do it Friday. That's fine. All right. We'll do our regular show on Friday night at 7.
Moments are when you could stare right into my soul and yell about Grandma.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have to bring the Trump flag home and we'll put it up.
Yeah, it's not a political show. It's a sports show.
I'll bring home the Penn State flag.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the extended version tonight.
Yeah.
We went long. I hope you enjoyed our commentary on the election. We're just bringing the facts as we see it. In a PA Fats non-genetically proven son kind of way.
Wouldn't that be an opinion?
No, it's still facts.
Okay.
We give just the facts in a opinionated point of view. But it's still facts.
Okay.
Our opinion is right.
Exactly.
All right. Until Friday at 7, we will see you then. Wave goodbye to the fine people. See ya. Say goodbye.